Hello and welcome to this webinar. My name is Angela Brooks, and today we're going to talk about how to use attraction marketing to grow your business. Like I said, my name is Angela Brooks. You either found me because of my blog, or maybe you follow me over on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, because I use social media to run my business. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because I'm pretty excited to tell you about the number one thing you need in your business every day. If you don't know me, I am retired from nursing. I retired in 2014 after 25 and a half years working in a psychiatric hospital. Yes, I worked there. I wasn't in there. Sometimes I wondered. I was able to collect my pension after 25 and a half years in a psych unit. You definitely want to work there long enough to get your pension. I was able to leave work at the age of 48, which is very unusual for a lot of people to be able to retire. Yes, I started working very young. Started there when I was 21, 22 years old. And I ran my business very part-time from home using my blog and social media while I worked a full-time nursing job. When I very first started in my business, I was still on the night shift. I would go to work at 6 at night, work till 7 a.m. I'd get off work, come home and take care of my littles. My oldest one was in school. My little guy wasn't. And, I would sleep maybe 2-3 hours a day. And then I would go back in that night at 6 o'clock after 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep. Still had supper to cook, still had kids to pick up from school, still had baseball practice. And yeah, 3 hours of sleep doesn't last a long time, trust me. But that was something I did. 3 days a week was what I was working. And that doesn't sound like a lot, except I would usually work 2 days in a row, off 3, work 2, off 1, work 2 more. The schedule was very iffy. I had no control of it, and it was exhausting. So I made a plan. I wanted out of the situation. I didn't want somebody else telling me how to schedule my life. I hated asking somebody permission if I could have off for my son's birthday, or if I could go to a friend's party, or if I could just sleep in. I didn't, sleep was very precious to me because I didn't get a lot of it. And, those were just things that bothered me. I didn't like being in a clock in, clock out situation. So the only way that I knew was to start doing something about it. And at the time, I truly didn't know exactly what I needed to do. So I started a blog because that's just seemed like the thing to do. I knew you needed a website, but I didn't know what to put on the thing. And I wasn't a very good writer. I'm better than I was. And I think the longer you blog, the better you get. My English teacher told me that I would never be very good at English because I took 4 college English classes, passed them all. But my 8th grade teacher, when she told me that I was terrible in English, that followed me for years because Miss White said so. It must be golden because she was the antique teacher. Since then, I've written 2 books, the MLM Blueprint Secrets and the Nurse's Voice, which are both over on Amazon. If you haven't got those, go pick you up a book. They're easy reads. They're not long. But, I started my business while I worked a full-time job, while I was a full-time mom with littles. And I just knew I wanted more. I needed more to be, I didn't feel fulfilled. And you may be the same way. However, that was the beginning. I had a BlackBerry. Don't hold that against me. BlackBerry was the top phone at the time. It's not now. I do have an iPhone. Makes life a whole lot easier. But, I used my BlackBerry when I would take my 30-minute lunch break. I worked a 13-hour shift, and I got a 30-minute lunch break and 2 15-minute breaks. You think about that. In 13 hours, that's not a whole lot of time off the clock. But I would sit in my car. I would sit in a room off the unit when I would have some downtime, and I would write a blog post on my BlackBerry, and I would email it to myself so that when I got home the next morning, I could, format it and put it up on the blog. And I didn't do a lot of things right in the beginning because I didn't know I needed a call to action. I didn't know I needed to link back into my blog. So it was a big learning curve. However, the way I was doing it, even though it wasn't the best setup, I was getting lots of hits. I was getting lots of eyeballs. And I had to figure out, how did I get these eyeballs and how do I get more? Because eyeballs is what we need in our business. I am married to an amazing man. His name is Dale Brooks. He has been with me from the beginning of this. He's listened to all the frustration that comes out of the office and listen to all the sleep. Without him, I really couldn't have raised my kids the way we have, because he works on swing shifts, and I think this is going into his 28th year at his job. He still enjoys his job, and as long as he loves it, he's welcome to come home when he's ready. But right now he still works full time, enjoys his job, and we've raised our kids on minimal sleep, and I honestly couldn't tell you how we survived. Between 2 hours here and 2 hours there, I'm sure we were just pleasant as we could be. This is my son, Milo. He is 13, and he is my young entrepreneur. He really loves business, and he has been to some events with me as well. He likes to learn about marketing, and he's really anxious to get his own account set up when he's old enough. We've got a couple of more years. This is my baseball player. This is Zach. He is 20, be 21 in June. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? In a blink, your life will zip by you, whether you're ready, prepared or not. The next year will come if you're ever so blessed to have another year. Zach is my baseball player, has taken us to many baseball parks around the country, and now he's playing in college. So again, we're on the college baseball swing, and when he calls and says, "Hey mom, I'm pitching," I can drop everything that I'm doing and get on the road and go watch him pitch whatever state he's in. And that was something that I had to get out of a job for. His first year of college, he called and said, "Hey mom, I'm pitching on Friday." And I'm like, got to work, and I'll try to get off. That there was something about that really disturbed me. And I didn't want him to call me and say, "I can't come watch you pitch in college." That's something we've worked for years to get him to that level. And there he was. And I was going, I can't. So I came up for eligibility to retire in December the 13th. As a matter of fact, my eligibility date came up. I had enough points and all that cross-reference stuff so that you could get all your pension. And I retired on December the 14th. I had 2 weeks of vacation time left that I needed to burn. So I took that off, and I retired. And I have not missed a game. When he calls, mom's on the road. And that is just that's a dream come true for me, that I never wanted to miss anything that my boys are doing, because Milo's a big soccer player, and he's just now getting into high school age. So I don't want to tell him no either. And business is the way that I've been able to do that. This is us. This is the Brooks. And this is my why, my how come, my go-to. This is what makes me sit in my office and do all these crazy things and bring the webinars and stuff to you, is because I have invested in me, and now I want to invest back into you and share with you some of the things that I've learned that has shifted my family, shifted our income, shifted the things that we've been able to do. And I hope that I can impart some of that to you. So let's get started. What is the number one thing that everyone needs in business, no matter what business you're in? And that's people, eyeballs. You need more people. You need more eyeballs. Without that, you really don't have a business. Leads, people, interested party, prospects, whatever you want to call them, they're still leads for your business. You got to generate leads. If you're going to grow any business, you need to be able to get people to buy your product, pay for your service, and or join your opportunity. Marketing is identifying who those interested eyeballs are and attracting them to what you do by what you do. If you had $1,000 check laying on your kitchen counter with your name on it, would you hesitate to cash it? The answer is no, you would not. And most of the time, people will not talk to people that are right in front of them, who have already raised their hand with interest. They're too scared to call them, talk to them, or share their opportunity with them. Now, I don't really care for the word opportunity because that's that click word that makes people immediately start backpedaling, backing up. I like to see if they're open to a side project. Opportunity says network marketing, which has a stigma. And, hopefully with people like myself and you, we're going to change the verbiage. We're going to change the way we work our business so that we can change the industry stigma, because this is a powerful industry to be in. And we have so much to offer people, but it needs to have some verbiage change up to get people to understand that it is really the finest profession you can be in. There's many ways to attract eyeballs to you. You can have a blog, which I highly suggest, and we'll talk about that later. Social media. There is a method to social media that needs to be done correctly, and I'm going to talk about that as well. Excuse me. But, social media is a relationship building platform. It's not a place for you to puke out your products and pictures of your products. And, if we went to Walmart or shopping wherever you shop, you're not going to walk around with a bottle of products beside your face, smiling, going, do you need this? Do you need this? No, you want to find people that are your ideal clients. And you can do some of the methods that people like to do is call leads. I only call leads to my ideal customers, to people who's already raised their hand. I only get on the phone with people I know are ready to talk to me. I'm going to be talking about that as well. Facebook ads. I don't encourage Facebook ads until you get things in place. Otherwise, you're throwing money out to Facebook and they'll take your money. They'll suck some money out of your account. Let me tell you, you've got to have some systems set up in order to benefit from Facebook ads. Facebook ads are powerful and they can reach people that you would never, ever reach otherwise. But you got to have a system in place to catch them and bring them into your system, or you're just wasting money. Face-to-face, in-person events. I don't like the word party. It sounds creepy. I like the word workshop. Workshop says that I'm going to go there. I'm going to be active. I'm going to learn something. People who like to do the party venue, go for it. It is not for me. It's not something I enjoy. So I'm not going to do it. First time in 6 years, this past January, I have some locals that wanted to do a workshop. And I said, hey, I'll help you. Yes, most definitely. I'll help anybody that's on my team that wants to do that. We had a great success. We closed the entire room, had over 18 people show up, which if you've ever done a party, 18 people is really good. And we closed the entire room. Ask for referrals. Everybody that came to that workshop, we asked them this question: is there anybody that you know that would be open to learning more about? It's just saying the words open. Nobody wants to say, if you say to somebody, are you interested? They'll go, nope, not me. I'm not interested. But if you say, are you open to learn more about blah, 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 they'll usually go, yeah, I am. It's just a cleaner word. It's just that verbiage shift and makes a big difference. Ask for referrals. I've got a whole webinar that I'm going to do on referrals alone, because yesterday I brought in 31 new leads, had 6 new buys, and I've got some more follow-ups to do. So asking for referrals is powerful. Most people miss that little sweet ride. Videos and Facebook Live and webinars. These are beautiful ways for you to get attraction to you and what you're doing. Absolutely. Facebook Live and videos. Videos have been on the power wagon for 5 or 6 years. Facebook Live has taken that over because you can have instant access to the people on your Facebook with a click of a button. Your videos can be 1 to 2 minutes. You know, if you had a prospect asked you a question, take that question to Facebook Live and answer it, so that number one, you're also answering that question for other people, but you can also refer people later down the road and say, hey, I just answered that question. Here's the video. That is duplicatable. That is 100% duplicatable. Because if I picked up the phone and called to each person that I had a question that they needed answered, that person was the only one who heard that conversation. So that's not real duplicatable, even though the content was killer. If I do a video and post it so that other people can see it, I'm not answering that question anymore. I've already got that out there. Here's a big one. Start tapping into your network. It is not who you know, but who your network knows. That's how I generated those 31 leads yesterday. It's the easiest marketing tip you're going to get today, is to ask for referrals from people you are connected to. Stop having classes and making phone calls with people who are not interested. Attract people to you that want what you've already got. They're already looking for this stuff that you have. You just have to get into the right network. Literally, I would send a Facebook message to my friends. I started out with school friends, as a matter of fact, which was a market that I hadn't tapped into. And I said, hey, it's been a while since first of all, let me back up. I look at their Facebook wall. I see what they've got going on. Take about 15 seconds to scroll down and glance. Make sure they don't have any trauma going on that I need to ask a dumb question when they're, maybe their house just burned or they just had a car wreck. Make sure nothing's going on. I'll drop them a message, say, hey, I got a question. I'm trying to make this big goal at the end of the month, and I'm looking for 2 to 3 people that you may know that would be open to a side project. I usually like to go product-wise for this instead of so much business, because it's easier. So be interested in XYZ product, whatever product that you're going after. Mine's essential oils, and I'm saying, hey, I'm just looking for 2 or 3 people you may know that would be open to learning more about essential oils or are interested in oils. Every single person that I sent that message to sent me anywhere from 3 to 6 names. And I then asked, thank you so much for sharing these people with me. Would you be so kind and send them a message and tell them that I'm going to drop in their inbox because of your referral? That way I won't be a complete stranger. And they all said, sure. So that when I contacted that person and say, hey, Leslie gave me your name because she said she thought you would be open to essential oils, and I just wanted to get in touch with you and see how I could help. No sales. Find out what they need. Determine the need, if they even have one. I didn't have anybody that said, oh gosh, why are you calling me? They were all very appreciative. And I've got some follow-backs to do. I had some immediate responses yesterday. But if you don't ask, you're not going to get them. Having classes with the same people is what I call flatline business. Each person who attends one of your events, workshops, meetings, whatever it is you want to call it, should bring one person at a minimum new with them. It should be an added rule to your team to help them build their community as well. You're teaching them how to reach out to somebody, because I want you to be very aware of first aid marketing. If you don't teach your team and community to be independent and lead the way by example and pave the way that they need to reach out and bring somebody with them, you're going to, it's going to become very stressful. But if you teach your team as you're building it, this is how we do this, I think you're going to be very happy. You're going to have happy people because they now know how to reach out and build their own community. But you have to encourage them because you don't want to be flatlined. That's hard business. Let me get a sip. Using social media as a very powerful relationship marketing tool. Every single day, every day on Instagram alone, there's 3.5 billion likes. 80 million pictures are posted, 15 times greater than Facebook and 20 times greater than Twitter. That is huge. People they like to scroll. They like pictures. They like to see inside of your lifestyle. So social platforms are trackable, number one, so you can see who and how many are checking out your stuff, how people connect with you, what they like the most when you post certain pictures. And then you can do it again and again and again. Some people like to post their whole Instagram full of memes with sayings and quotes and things. That's all well and good if that works for your audience. What I found for my particular Instagram is that people like to see inside of my day. And I usually snap one picture minimum a day, write something in the description with up to 15 hashtags. You don't want any more than 15 hashtags, but you definitely want more than 5. And how do you find hashtags is you look at the keywords that you're writing in your description, and if you're talking about somebody in the gym, then you're going to go gym rats, gym and exercise, those kind of words. Hashtags will usually pop up as you start writing them on Instagram, and they'll, have a list that you can choose from. Pick the ones with the biggest community, because hashtags are simply community of people that you want to be in front of. So social media is a powerful relationship. Share your world with them. Curiosity marketing is part of social media. And what that is, that's hard for a lot of people to understand because it's just the opposite of what we think we need to do. Number one rule is you should keep your company a secret. If people can read your social media platform and within 3 to 5 minutes, they know everything they need to know about you, they don't have any reason to ask you any questions. You can post things about a product, but you want to post about the benefit. Nobody gives a flying cracker what the ingredients of Ninja Red is. Nobody cares what the ingredients to a bottle of oil are and how many drops is in that bottle. People don't care about that. I've never, in my 6 years of being with oils, have I ever told anybody how many drops was in a bottle. I've never gave the ingredients because I don't want to look like I'm the ingredient expert. They'll ask and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Let me pull that up and I'll show it to you. That's duplicatable. If you whip that stuff out of your brain and they see that you can spit that out of your mouth within seconds of what's in that bottle, they're going, oh, I can't do that. And it's not duplicatable. Everything has to be marketing and duplication. So keep your company a secret. Post things that are curiosity that makes people go, I wonder what she's talking about. Wonder what she took that made her sleep so amazing. Or I wonder what she's using. She's never sick. Everybody else around me sick. Keep your company name out of your marketing because they've got professional marketers that's already doing the marketing for them. They've got labels. They've got the products. They got brochures. You are marketing yourself because you are the avenue to get to the product. So you have to attract people to you first. I know it's different, but trust me, it works. Outteach your competitors with curious posts on social media that makes you go, wonder what that is. The biggest compliment that somebody can say to you is, what exactly is it that you do? Because that is a conversation starter. That gives you permission to strike up a conversation about what you do and see if they are open, not interested, not, are you ready to start working a business? No. Let me tell you about what products I think will work really good for you. No. Listen, have a conversation. People get into business and they forget just to talk to people. I literally pulled up to get a drink at a fast food restaurant the other day. All she had to do was hand a drink out the window to me, and I drive, pay her and drive off. She told me about the car in front of her who had a beautiful dog and why she liked that dog, and how it, fur therapy is what I like to call it. When she has a dog, how she likes to pet it, how it relieves her anxiety. That was in less than 3 minutes, pulled up at a drive-through window, talking to a lady who's giving me a drink. She told me about anxiety and that dogs helped her with that. And I said, would you be open to learn what I used when I had some anxiety going on? And she goes, anything you've got. That was a conversation. I said, well, I don't have a lot of time right now because I'm on my way to an appointment. Here's my card. If you would, jot down your number, and I promise I'm going to give you a call back. But right now, I've got to get to this appointment. Immediately, because we're both in a rush and she didn't want to hold up the car behind me, she jots down her cell phone number on my card. I put it back and I said, I'll text you in just a minute so you'll have my number. I drive off. I get down the road, literally pull over. I text her and say, hey, this is Angela. I've got your information right here. I'll be talking to you later. Have a great day. She texted me back and said, thank you so much. I can't wait. How easy is that? Boom. When people ask you about your comment on social media, your blog post, your training, let them talk to you more than you're talking. The new rule is say less to more people. Learn to listen, because they're going to tell you. If you're willing to not slobber at the mouth and get too anxious to draw them into your stuff, you want to have enough curiosity about you that you're listening. You want to be that weird person that listens, because everybody wants to overtalk the other person. And when you become the listener instead of the talker, that person sees you as high value and they really respect you because you listen to them. People never, ever get bored about talking about themselves. They will tell you what they need, and you can listen to see how you can help them. It's that easy, folks, I promise. Here is a post that I made on social media talking about a hot flash. I talked about the heat is up, the heat's down, need a jacket, I'm ripping clothes off. Women who are having hot flashes automatically can relate to this post. Throws in a little bit of oil comment. There is some humor. And, immediately I said, if this is a preview of the pause, not even given a diagnosis of menopause, but I'm just talking about the pause, then I don't want to take it to the whole show. 57 likes, 1 share, and 15 comments. Those are leads that you can now click on, which I'm going to talk about this more over in the social media webinar, but these are leads for you. These women have done raised their hand and said, yep, I understand what you're saying. I get it. And all I got to do is highlight this where it says 57. You click on that and that list will pop up with everybody's name. You can hover your little mouse over their name and you can send a message right there. You don't even have to open up to the next page. You can do it right there. Say, hey, Kathy, thanks for commenting on my hot flash post. Are you dealing with that as well? Just start a conversation. And I had some of the best conversations off of this because people were laughing, going, I can't believe you said exactly what I was thinking. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing. And it's really helped. And they're like, oh, where do you get that? That's a conversation starter. These are easy leads, fun leads. This post was over on Angela Brooke Angela Brooks Biz, which is on Facebook. So if we're not connected there, jump over to Facebook, not right now while we're still in the webinar, but when it's over, jump over to Facebook and hit the like button. Now, after you hit the like button, drop me a message. Tell me that you just like the page so I can connect back to you. This is how we connect to each other, is we network. So are you getting value out of this so far? I mean, is it helping you think a little bit differently than when we first got started? I mean, there are so many different ways to look at marketing, and I want to show people how to make it fun and how to lead with attraction marketing so that it's not that uncomfortable meeting thing, which makes, I just can't, I just can't do it. Okay, keeping the loop open. What does that mean? You can generate leads with your blog by giving away your notes. When you read a book, you can do a book review. You can teach how you use a product and the results that you've gotten. You can interview people. You can, if you go to an event, this is what drives me bonkers, is when people go to these great events, they've paid for VIP tickets. They're going for 2, 3, 4 days to these events. They've paid to get on an airline, or if they've driven several hours, get a hotel. You spent $3,000 to $4,000 to go to an event. During the time that they're traveling, they don't post one picture. They're not getting pictures with the speakers who are on stage, because people like to see who you know and where you've been. That is lead generation lifestyle post, because when people see that you're studying with, let's say, Tony Robbins, they're going, wow, what did you learn at Tony? Because that says that you have new knowledge that he teaches and that you're a good person to connect with. That's how people relate to that. Then you come back and they've got all these notes that they've taken at the event, and they stick them in a drawer at home in their office in the dark. And they don't share them with anybody. They don't do a blog post. They don't do a Facebook Live, nothing. Your notes are like unsigned checks. When you go to an event, you take notes and you've learned this lesson. It's always good, number one, it is for me, to sit down and redo my notes and add things while it's fresh on my mind so that I don't lose that content. And then you share it on a blog post with a call to action to join your email list to get more of these kind of updates. Everything is a big looping circle. And again, I'll talk about that over in the blogging webinar that I'm going to do in a few days. Teach what you learn. Gently wrap it around your product if it fits. If it would come out sounding weird that you went to a Tony Robbins and the next thing you know, you're talking about a product, that doesn't gently move. But if you had a product that maybe you're an introvert and being around all these people, 20,000 people at his event, caused some anxiety, you can talk about how you used a product to soothe your anxiety, but you were still able to attend this event. And this is what you learned at the event. So you drop a little nugget out, but you don't give away the whole nugget. And you get people to say, what was that product that you said that you used when you went? Because I do the same thing. People's going to relate, and they're going to be able to ask you questions. It's your marketing. It is just good marketing. Okay, we are 33 minutes in, and now we're going to talk about our ultimate goal is to attract people to our concept. Let's give them just enough information so that it's like a cliffhanger at the end of the fall season, and you got a whole nother 6 months to wait. You don't want them to wait 6 months. But you know how that cliffhanger draws people back to that TV show in the fall? It's just enough to get them to ask questions to find out more. When you attend events and you're posting where you are in small bits of information, telling what you're learning, these are lifestyle posts and people love them. Your goal is to generate your own leads. That's the sole purpose of social media and a blog, is to generate leads for your business. Otherwise, you don't need either one of them, to be quite honest, other than to give yourself something to do. While you're hanging out on social media, you've got to put this marketing principle to work. And the reason you even use social media is to get eyeballs on your links that go back to your blog. You don't want to send them off-site to a company page, or you can send them to a capture page, which collects their name and email, or straight to your blog, which I would suggest your capture page be on your blog to begin with, so that you're driving traffic to one place for two purposes. More traction to your blog and to a capture page. You got to stand out. You got to look different. Post your blog post URL, not a sales status update. Keep your pictures of your company product. Put them on your blog. If you want to talk about a product, blog about it. Post whatever picture. I don't do pictures of products, but put your information in a blog post, then share the blog post link on Facebook. That way, they're getting the same information that you were going to put over on Facebook that nobody's going to like, comment, or share. You're driving them to your blog, and they can read it there. And they might even drop into another page or two while they're there. You have them, that's inviting them into your house to have tea. I mean, you've got to learn to drive traffic. It gives you a better status as being the guru, as being the information source. They get value. It drives traffic. It gives your blog more reviews, because a lot of people will stop and leave a comment, or you ask them in your blog post to leave a comment. Then you simply go back and talk to the people that showed up. Okay, now the first thing that I can hear your brain rattling going, I hate to write. No problem. It's okay. Do a short Periscope, Facebook Live, or a video. Post that on your blog. And if you don't know how to post those kind of things on your blog, it's not hard. Go to YouTube, Google how to add a video to your WordPress blog, and boom, there it is. Put a little bit of copy underneath it about what the video is about. That's your blog post. Post that video on your blog, then you're going to share that URL over on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram so that you're driving traffic. Post that to your email list as well. If you don't have an email list, you will want to be in the webinar where I talk about building an email list for your business. It is absolutely a must-have, because it is the hardest business that you're working if you don't have an email list. I won't get on that boat, on that box just yet. Your videos that you're doing can be 1 to 2 minutes, at the most 5 minutes, because people's attention spans are very short. You don't know what to say in your video. Somebody's going to ask you a question. Give a short answer in a video with a call to action to go over to the blog post for more info or to connect with you. Send everybody to your blog. Number one marketing tip that will trump anything that you decide to do that you've learned here today is action. You can be knowledge obese. And if you have all of this stuff that you know, and this is what you're supposed to do, but you do nothing, then you are knowledge obese, which overcoming that frustration and fear is to get results is just something you have to do. You got to step out of that box. You can study all day. You can read books. You can fly to thousands of events, listen to webinars. But if you're not putting that stuff in action, you're going to get zero results. Your bank account tells you what kind of action that you're putting into your business. So if you're not happy with what your bank account tells you when you check in there, then you need to look at yourself in the mirror and go, hey, it's time to do this, because it is totally action-based. Find out if people are open to an opportunity, which I need to change that in this webinar, because like I said, I don't like the word opportunity. because you want to see if they're open for a side project. I'm going to change that word to side project, and I want you to change that in your head as well so that it will not interfere with what they're presently doing. When people know that you're trying to get them to do something that's not going to interfere with anything else, they're a little bit more likely to lean in. Look for people who want to work part-time, who could use an extra $500. You know, a lot of people in network marketing, they immediately go to, let's make $10,000 a month. Well, it takes some time to make $10,000 a month, and it takes a lot of work to get there. But there's a whole lot of people that need $500, because when I was a single mom, I raised my oldest son until he was 4 by myself, and an extra $500 is why I got into network marketing, period. I thought if I just had $500, we could go to the movie and not have to save up for it from one paycheck to another. I had a home, I had a nice car, I had a good job, but it was that extra. Vacation was out. That wasn't even a thought process to have a vacation. But we just wanted to go to the movie or go to the zoo or, spend that extra $100 here or there and it not just crush your budget. $500 people are everywhere. Those are the ones that you want to talk to, because not everybody, to be honest, wants to generate a 6-figure income. Most people are open to an extra $500. We'll say a family would like to have $1,000. But, don't give away your company until they ask for that information, because you're going to push them away from you. I know it sounds odd. You just got to trust me. I need you to ask yourself this. What actions do I need to take to see results? Blog, classes, webinar, conversation starters. We've talked about all of that today. What energy am I putting out there? Am I too salesy? Do I lack confidence? Do I doubt what I even sell? Your confidence. It takes some time to generate your confidence in what you're doing and to really be able to step into what you have. But the moment that you do, your business will shift. And I hope that you're taking notes today. I didn't tell you earlier to get a pen and paper because I just assumed that if you're coming to a class, you come prepared with a pen and paper to take down these notes or snap pictures of the screen if you need to. But build your confidence, check yourself. How am I adding value to the marketplace? Am I doing audios? Am I doing Facebook Lives? What is it I know that I can teach? Because, oh my goodness, you know so much more than you give yourself credit for. You, my friend, are the best kept secret. Because what you know, I may not know. And if I know some of the same things you do, there's things that you do that I don't know anything about. Teach me. I talked to a mother the other day. She had 6 children. They were all under the age of 7, I believe it was. And there was an infant in her belly. There was a 10-month-old. They were small babies. And I said, oh, girl, you could write blog posts for days on how you function during the day. And she was running a business. Hello? That's pretty impressive to me. Extremely. And she was cooking home-cooked meals and she was homeschooling. I'm like, you were the bomb. Absolutely. This is the one place this is where the magic happens. And it's the number one place that people ignore. And that's follow up with people that you connect to. Oh my goodness. Focus on building the relationships and the follow up, which can be anything from texting, your social media, meeting people at events, face to face. You may not do business with somebody with the first connection, but maybe you went to the same event and you struck up a conversation, had lunch or, talked in between break, and you kind of had that, bond generated. And the next event, you meet that person there and you're going, hey, you immediately feel like you've got a new friend because y'all talked before. I show up at events and I'm getting hugs and high fives and people hollering my name across the room. And it is so fun to walk into an event and know people and not really know them, but you do know them because of social media. Focus on building that relationship, because I went to an event. I helped a young girl get started on some task that to her was really, really hard. And when I showed her my twist of how I did things, it clicked for her. And we were able to strike a bond that we still chit chat on Facebook. Be in a state of giving, adding value to your clients and customers. Be positive energy. If you're a negative Nanny, people will run as fast as they can to get away from you. People are magnetically attracted to positive energy. Be that person. And if you have to work on it, do. Because when you work on your positive energy, your self-confidence steps up. So we're going to nurture the relationships that you've generated. Building trust doesn't always happen within the first few connections, like I just said. Some of my best customers are people who met me 3, 4, and 5 years ago. I'm not joking. Then they saw me online and they followed me and they connected and said, signed up because they trusted me, because they've known me and they've watched me grow through my social media post, my lifestyle post. The follow-up is the beginning of a relationship building. There is more to a lead than just buying a kit. Some of your lead connections will watch you for a while before they'll ever decide to work with you. So you got to get out there. Follow-up is easy to do with a text because people are not answering the phone. You can call, you can leave messages if that's what you want to do. Great for you. I am going to send a Facebook message and a text message, especially if I have their phone number. Most people give you cell phones anymore, not a house phone. I text them, hey, this is Angela. I was just reaching back out. We connected at the event. It was good to meet you. Whatever our conversation was, say, hey, I'd like to chit chat 5 minutes. Give them a timeline. 5 minutes says it's going to be a short call. Keep your word. If you say I'm going to talk to you for 5 minutes, don't get on the phone and keep them for 30 minutes because they won't answer the phone again. I'm telling you, they won't answer the phone. Create a fast action without freaking out over the phone. A text is easy, it's quick, it's fast. It produces results. I have literally signed people into my primary opportunity through text. To this day, some of those people, we've never had a conversation. It's easy to set up appointments and ask permission. Hey, this is Angela. Can I call you real quick? I just need to ask you a question. If the conversation goes on because they are leading and you listen to the conversation, make sure they're doing more talking than you are. But keep your word. The interview is known as a simple conversation. People get all freaked out about talking to people, and you're just having conversations to see if they're open. You're trying to determine if what they need is something that you have to offer. Who are they? What is important to them? What's missing in their life that they really want? Like me, I wanted control of my schedule. I wanted to be able to go see my kids play ball without a hesitation. And if you are there to serve them with no agenda other than to get to know them, you'll be able to see if you have a new friend or a partner in your company. Not every lead is meant to be in your business. Trust me, you don't want everybody in your business. So, and also consider timing. Before presenting an opportunity or make sure that the timing is on point for that particular person. That's where we've got social media. We can go read their wall and see if they've got something going on, if they just lost a parent or, they're, like I said, their house burned or their dog died or whatever. You don't want to go and start asking them if they're open for a side project when they've got something else on their mind. If something's going on that day, they'll be closed to anything you have to say. They may have had a bad day at work, and people do post that on social media. They post that they're fighting with their kids. Maybe they didn't sleep at night. They post that on social media. Or they're overly tired at the end of a work day, and they'll say, hey, can we connect tomorrow? So sure, what time is good for you? Get them to pinpoint a time so that you have them on the calendar. Great, I'll talk to you tomorrow at 10 in the morning, whatever time it was. Share your life. Action, beliefs, dreams, goals, values. This is my Instagram. If you're not following me, come on over to Angela Brooks 1 on Instagram. I share my life and the things that I do and interact with other people on Instagram, and you just will be surprised how many leads you'll get just by doing this alone. And when people meet you in person, they feel like they know you because they'll say, hey, I just saw your son had a birthday, and oh, that dog is the cutest dog. I'm really impressed that your son's cooking at that age. Way to go, Mom. And hey, I saw you on stage with Ray Higdon. You know, people pay attention to what you post, so be mindful of what you post and what you say. Tools. We're almost done. Tools are very important. Using third-party tools, like I said, posting on your blog and then sending people to a blog or doing a video. No one wants to say the same thing over and over again. A tool can be a book, like my MLM Blueprint Secrets that you can find over on Amazon. I can send people to that book to read, or now we can come to this webinar and say, hey, watch this webinar. This is duplicatable. A CD, a video, a website, or brochure is something that anybody can lead somebody else to. That is duplicatable. What you have in your head that you know is wonderful, but if I can't say the same thing like you can to other people, that's not duplicatable. Videos and things are. You don't need to be an expert at every single thing you do. You know, have a system where you point people to get the information. If you try to be the go-to all that more and more person, you're going to exhaust yourself and you'll hate your business instead of love it. And I would rather you build slow and steady instead of exhausting yourself. Use your systems. Third-party tools are amazing. When you present yourself as a know-all, people will then compare themselves to that and feel as if they can't do what you're doing. But they can share some tools. Tools are powerful. Some of the tools that I use, I have 3 that I am constantly sending people to. The AngelaBrook.com coaching is where I get brand new people started on a blog. If they don't know what to do a blog, how to write a blog, how to start one, period, I send them there because I have a mastery level group, a Facebook group that they will also be connected to with that system. Emotional wellness. If I'm going to talk about my oils, then I'm going to send people theirs. You know, if they're looking potentially at oils, I'm going to send them to that link so they can get more information. And they'll have my cell phone to text me when we can chat. And of course, AngelaBrook.com, my blog. Learn to drive traffic to your tools. These are powerful tools for me because I don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. I can just say, hey, go to this. Hey, go to emotional health. Hey, go to my blog. Don't spend time on somebody who's window shopping. Window shoppers are just looking. Follow-up rules. No matter how you generate a lead, you connect with them, determine the need. You are going for no's to get to that yes. You may not get as many yeses as you do no's, but you are in this, you're filtering. You're looking for people who are looking for you. Those people that aren't looking for you are going to exhaust you in your time. Look for people who's already looking for what you have to offer, and you can't say the wrong things, and that's the truth. Not everyone you talk to will be a yes, but it's closer. So just keep moving. Just keep going. I want to thank you. We are a little over 45 minutes into this webinar, 50 minutes or so. We have covered a lot of content. I hope you took good notes. Biggest thing is I hope you take action. I don't want you just to get this information and throw it aside going, oh, that was great. I want you to put it into action so that you can get results and your bank account can smile. I hope you liked today's training. Did you like today's training? Hope you got some good value. Do you think that just a few of these things that you could find more people to have conversations with when you look at it from this point of view? I want you to leave me a comment. This is your assignment. Leave me a comment on my Facebook wall. I would like to hear from you because when you share your nuggets with me, that helps me offer better training that you can come and listen to, and I can teach better by what you share with me. My next webinar is going to be on branding and finding your ideal customer. If you don't know who your ideal customer is, it's really hard to do business, and that's something that we're going to talk about there. I hope that you have an amazing afternoon or morning or wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you in the next webinar.